Hey everybody, this is my makeshift glove since I'm out of gloves. But today is gessoing day, so I'm going to show you how I do that. This is just I'm doing about 12, and I always gesso from the back to the front because that just makes it look good. On top of that, I'm able to get a good solid surface. So I kind of pack it in all those edges right there. Oh. And these, one of these have already been spoken for. And this is actually a gesso from Nova Color. It's a Nova Flex 200, and you're going to find it has a lot of whiting in it. And a lot of whiting means that the gesso is going to give you this almost like a titanium white surface. It's really awesome. I don't know how they make it. All I know is it's better than any gesso I bought in forever. I want to make sure all the staples are covered. So I'm going to go back across it. And then I'm going to do this. Yeah, my second set of skin. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, there we are. Okay. So I'm going to hold it this way, put my gesso on the other side. And there's just something very common about gessoing canvas and making it look good. Been doing this a long time this way. So it's kind of I don't know, a little bit of therapy. Typically I have gloves, so because I'm kind of bored with having dirty hands all the time. And during a good show season, I'll do probably 3,000 or 4,000 canvases a year this way. So I've got to the point where I've sped up the process, or tried to. Now this first coat, these are going to be triple primed, and most time people just do either single prime or double prime. Okay, now once I have that done, lay it back out. A glove is a glove is a glove. Start from the center, out, work my way out. And this packs it, this right here packs it into the fibers of the canvas, so you actually get a better coverage. And it's almost pretty to look at. And the first coat is to just apply it to seal that surface. The second coat is to fill up the pores, and the third coat will be to smooth the surface. Because, you know, if you go to transfer draw on this stuff with a single coat, it's a little bit kind of a pain. Now I'm not done here yet. They've got a little bit of brush marks, but I'm not too worried about those. I'm more worried about my sides and my edges. And it's a little bit cool here today, so the gesso is going to dry a little slower. And you can see these little white voids in here every now and then where you've missed, so just inspect your canvas really good. And you can see it doesn't take very long. And the first coat, yeah, you're going to use a lot of gesso. So guys, okay, and then what I do is I come in here, I clean up my edges, making sure there's no drips, no overhangs. Things like that. Come to this side. So it's a way of making a pretty canvas in a very short time. I'll clean all my edges. Here we go. Make sure everything's feathered out. I don't want to have any sort of raised areas. Okay, let me go put this one. I will set this one here. So this canvas is ready to dry. And this one here. And all I'm trying to do here is just make sure that I don't have any, you know, these raised areas. Sometimes you get them on there. Oh, pardon me. And your voids show up really easy. Your voids do show up quite a bit. So, okay, so I'm going to put these over here to dry. We're going to grab some others. I'm going to grab another item coming over here. And that's how this goes. Now, I've already done 3 30 by 30s, but this is where these turn out really pretty. So I'll show you these. Again, I've sped this up over time so I don't have to like muck around with it. And there's something about, I don't know, I think Gessoing is kind of therapeutic. And you have to keep in mind, the bigger the canvas you go, the more you want to take the time. I got a lot on here. And if it drips down, this is the back of the canvas. Okay, this shows that this has been hand gessoed. So if you have drips, pores in the back, good. Again, this has a lot of whiting in it, so I'm really pleased with always the end result of these. And I'm going to do this edge here. I want to pack it in there to make sure that everything's well sealed from the front to the back. Pull them together. That way you can do 2 at the same time. I used to stack them, 10, 12 of them at a time and just do it that way. Again, I'm just packing it in here. I was going to do this when I had some fancy gloves to show you how it goes. Sometimes when you're out of gloves, you just have to make use of what you got. And I guarantee if you scrubbed it in, even to the sides and the back, your canvases look and feel a lot better when you're working. Now, like I said, I'm not used to doing 1 or 2 canvases. I'm used to doing 50 to 75 canvases at a time. So this is something I've learned over the course of years to speed things up. Now, I want you to notice the size of these. One thing you want to keep in mind is when you start dealing with larger sizes, you want to make sure that you feather that out before you get started, because if it has a tendency of drying, then you're going to run into problems later, because then you're going to have this lip on it, and this is the way of just curing that ahead of time. I'm not too worried about going into the other canvas. That's the reason why I stack them that way. Now you can see I'm really grinding this in. Now most canvases, when you get them, they're not as taut as this. So you want to keep that in mind, that, you know, I'm grinding it in. So if you have a loose canvas, what's going to happen to that canvas when you put gesso on it? It's just going to get more sloppy. So as I'm just scrubbing this in. Simplest way, and feathering it back out when I'm done, looking for high spots. And you have to do this more on these larger canvases than you do in smaller ones, because you don't want to have to go backwards. This is my last out of this case of bars, so I'm going to make these count. And you have a good 5-7 minutes of work time before this stuff sets up, so you can go back and clean up your edges on these, and you're going to have a nice working surface. And one thing about using this gesso is it does show the voids, or basically places where no paint is at, a little better than some of the other gessos I've used. And I'm in Arizona, so these things dry fairly quick. And basically what you're looking for is when you're done with your canvas and you're waiting for it to dry. Remember, if it's cold and wet, even on a hot day, it means it's not dry. If it's warm to the touch, it's dry. That's the best way of doing it. Okay, and even here I'm looking for voids as I'm doing this. So I wanted to show you this. This is just a quick way of doing this, making it into a real nice canvas, scrubbing your gesso in, making it simple, uncomplicated. And I know a lot of you are too lazy to do this, so go ahead and just turn off the video, because you're wasting your time and mine. But if you're interested in really making gesso work, this is the way of doing it. So I'm going to take this off, I'm going to turn you off, and you guys have a good one. If I can get this off. There we go. My hands are already sweating. You guys have a good one. This one's fun.